we still have faith when an enemy of God threatens us? Let's look at Assyrian threats against Judah in 2 Kings 18. Who was the 13th king of Judah? Did he do what was pleasing in the Lord's sight? Hezekiah, son of Ahaz, began to rule over Judah in the 3rd year of King Hoshea's reign in Israel. He was 25 years old when he became king, and he reigned in Jerusalem 29 years. His mother was Abijah, the daughter of Zechariah. He did what was pleasing in the Lord's sight, just as his ancestor David had done. He removed the pagan shrines, smashed the sacred pillars, and cut down the Asherah poles. He broke up the bronze serpent that Moses had made, because the people of Israel had been offering sacrifices to it. The bronze serpent was called Nehushtan. Did Hezekiah trust God? By contrast, why was Israel taken captive by Assyria? He trusted in Yahweh, the God of Israel, so that after him was no one like him among all the kings of Judah, nor among them that were before him, for he joined with Yahweh. He didn't depart from following him, but kept his commandments, which Yahweh commanded Moses. Yahweh was with him. Wherever he went, he prospered. He rebelled against the king of Assyria and didn't serve him. He struck the Philistines to Gaza and its borders, from the tower of the watchman to the fortified city. In the 4th year of King Hezekiah, which was the 7th year of Hoshea, son of Elah, king of Israel, Shalmaneser, king of Assyria, came up against Samaria and besieged it. At the end of 3 years they took it. In the 6th year of Hezekiah, which was the 9th year of Hoshea, king of Israel, Samaria was taken. The king of Assyria carried Israel away to Assyria and put them in Halah, and on the Habor, the river of Gozan, and in the cities of the Medes, because they didn't obey Yahweh their God's voice, but transgressed his covenant, even all that Moses the servant of Yahweh commanded, and wouldn't hear it or do it. Did Judah's king Hezekiah have to pay Assyria's king Sennacherib tribute? Did he threaten Jerusalem? Assyria's king Sennacherib marched against all of Judah's fortified cities and captured them. In the 14th year of King Hezekiah, Judah's king Hezekiah sent a message to the Assyrian king at Lachish, saying, "I admit wrongdoing. Please withdraw from me, and I'll agree to whatever you demand from me." Assyria's king required Judah's king Hezekiah to pay him 300 kikars of silver and 30 kikars of gold. So Hezekiah gave him all the silver that was in the Lord's temple and in the palace treasuries. At that time, King Hezekiah had to strip down the doors and doorposts of the Lord's temple, which he'd covered with gold. He gave all of it to the Assyrian king. Assyria's king sent his general, his chief officer, and his field commander from Lachish, together with a large army, to King Hezekiah at Jerusalem. They went up and arrived at Jerusalem. They stood at the water channel of the upper pool, which is on the road to the field where clothes are washed. Then they called for the king. Hilkiah's son Eliakim, who was the palace administrator, Shebna the secretary, and Asaph's son Joah, the recorder, went out to them. What did an Assyrian commander tell Hezekiah in Jerusalem? One of the Assyrian commanders told them, "I have a message for Hezekiah from the great king of Assyria. Ask Hezekiah why he feels so sure of himself. Does he think he can plan and win a war with nothing but words? Who's going to help him now that he's turned against the king of Assyria? Is he depending on Egypt and its king? That's the same as leaning on a broken stick, and it'll go right through his hand. Is Hezekiah now depending on the Lord your God? Didn't Hezekiah tear down all except one of the Lord's altars and places of worship? Didn't he tell the people of Jerusalem and Judah to worship at that one place? The king of Assyria wants to make a bet with you people. He'll give you 2,000 horses if you have enough troops to ride them. How could you even defeat our lowest ranking officer when you have to depend on Egypt for chariots and cavalry? Don't forget that it was the Lord who sent me here with orders to destroy your nation. What public threats did the Assyrian commander make against God? Then Eliakim the son of Hilkiah, and Shebna and Joah said to the Rabshakeh, "Please speak to your servants in Aramaic, for we understand it. Do not speak to us in the language of Judah, within the hearing of the people who are on the wall." But the Rabshakeh said to them, "Has my master sent me to speak these words to your master and to you, and not to the men sitting on the wall, who are doomed with you to eat their own dung and to drink their own urine?" Then the Rabshakeh stood and called out in a loud voice in the language of Judah, "Hear the words of the great king, the king of Assyria. Thus says the king, don't let Hezekiah deceive you, for he will not be able to deliver you out of my hand. Don't let Hezekiah make you trust in the Lord by your saying, the Lord will surely deliver us, and this city will not be given into the hand of the king of Assyria. Don't listen to Hezekiah, for thus says the king of Assyria, make your peace with me and come out to me. Then each one of you will eat of his own vine, and each one of his own fig tree, and each one of you will drink the water of his own cistern, until I come and take you away to a land like your own land, a land of grain and wine, a land of bread and vineyards, a land of olive trees and honey, that you may live and not die. And don't listen to Hezekiah when he misleads you by saying, the Lord will deliver us. Has any of the gods of the nations ever delivered his land out of the hand of the king of Assyria? Where are the gods of Hamath and Arpad? Where are the gods of Sepharvaim, Hena, and Ivah? Have they delivered Samaria out of my hand? Who among all the gods of the lands have delivered their lands out of my hand, that the Lord should deliver Jerusalem out of my hand? Do we keep silent, trusting God when threatened by the enemies of God? But the people kept silent. They didn't say anything, for the king's command was, don't answer him. Then Eliakim son of Hilkiah, who was in charge of the palace, Shebna the court secretary, and Joah son of Asaph, the court historian, came to Hezekiah with their clothes torn and reported to him the words of the Rabshakeh. How should we Christians handle threats from enemies of the cross? But even if you should suffer for doing what's right, you're blessed. Never be afraid of their threats and never get upset. Do we still have faith when an enemy of God threatens us? You decide.